Welcome back, and if you hadn't already guessed it, today I'm reviewing inov8's X-Talon G235. And just to be clear, this is not a sponsored post, this is not a paid advertisement. inov8 have kindly sent me the product for free for testing, but they are not giving me any money, and therefore all these views are mine and mine only. So the 235 is a replacement for the 230, which was the previous X-Talon of a similar weight, but instead of using graphene grip, it used their sticky grip. It all looks very similar, but it is slightly different. Now the 230 was one of my favourite shoes for running the mountains. Those 8mm lugs, the Powerflow Plus midsole, and just the whole combination. I ran my PB at Ring of Steel in them, and for heading to the mountains, they're my go-to, just grab, go, job done. So in terms of differences between the previous model and this model, of course, first off you've got the outsole, and you've now got your graphene grip. So graphene's been used on the Mudclaw and many other inov8 products. So when you look at the outsole, it's a very similar pattern, it's effectively the same pattern. You've got your 8mm lugs, but the main difference here is durability and grip. You're supposed to get better grip in the wet, but also they're not going to cut down like cheese, because that has been the problem with really soft, grippy compounds to date, that they do wear out really quickly, so you've got to be mindful of where you're using them. Please don't think this is a durability test. I've probably done about 100 miles on these so far, and obviously to get that durability, credibility, that's a bit of a tongue twister. We're looking at 300 to 600. So this is just what I've done to date, and yes, so far they are doing really well. They do look pretty much box fresh on the whole. The thing that I really like about the X-Talon's outsole is just the space. You've got a lot of space for clearing that mud. You've still got enough depth in the tread, in the lugs, to actually grip in and bite through basically the crap, the shit that you're going to find, whether you're on an open trail, you're on a mountain, you're in mud, just in all manner of stuff that wants you to fall flat on your face and look stupid. As you'd expect with a shoe of this sort, it is flexible. You've got your Metaflex in there, basically there's a groove, there's more flexibility at that point, but the actual shoe on the whole has got a lot of flex going on. The midsole is the Powerflow Plus. Now, I don't know the exacts about this, but I feel there's less than there was in the 230. When I ran the Ring of Steel in 2018, I ran the road sections and I felt like I had a nice bit of cushion underneath me. I do think there's a bit less in the 235, I could be wrong, so please correct me, but I didn't experience the same level of comfort when on harder surfaces. The rand this time is rubber printed the whole way around, so different from the previous. It is lower profile, there's less of it, but it is a continuation of the outsole in many ways, and in many respects the main difference on top is the upper. It's now made of a ballistic nylon. It's a lot coarser when you rub against it, so if you like your ASMR, that's gonna, but all that does give you is added durability. And I've worn these in all manner of places. I ran 18 miles in the Pentlands recently. I did the Cong Mini Mountain Marathon in North Wales, which was really rocky, as you'd imagine. I've even run a park run in them. I've done all manner of things from different parts of the UK, different challenges, always different terrain, to see how it holds up. You've got a 6mm drop, and it's 13 to 7mm. It does sit pretty low, it is pretty neutral in terms of where your foot positions. You're not going to feel like you're riding up high like a stiletto, and it really suits mountain environments in that respect, because the last thing you want is to be on your toes trying to basically find where your foot is, because ultimately you're wearing this because you want grip on everything that doesn't want you to stay upright. The laces, yeah, they do the job, they stay in place. They're always pretty long with inov8, so you could make them a little bit shorter, and the tongue does a really nice job of holding things off. It has effectively 3 areas to it, so it wraps right around your foot and locks out debris from getting in. However, if you really want to go to town, there are gaiter attachment points on the rear, so if you want to use a gaiter and just stop any loose shale or shingle, whatever you want to call it, getting inside and causing hot spots, you can do so. Hidden, you've also got their 2nd generation Metaplate, their rock plate, and this did a really good job. So I ran in North Wales, where it's generally quite rocky, and there's many a time that I got my footing slightly wrong and had to stand on a sharp edge, and it did prevent anything coming through, but also that real pain. There was a few times that you knew you'd stepped on something, but there wasn't any lasting damage, any bruising, any just misery. So it didn't stop me mid-race, which is a big win in my respect. Given my love, my admiration for the 230, how does the 235 stack up? In terms of the actual build quality, in terms of the durability and everything that goes with that, it is better. It's definitely going to hold up to more than the previous models, and it's only now when I start to pull them out when I'm thinking about running and I realise how low certain lugs are, that they're kind of reaching into their shelf life, whereas I do believe these are going for longer. Where there's a difference in my opinion is that Powerflow plus midsole. It does feel like there's less of it this time. It does feel slightly less cushioned for when you're on that harder packed terrain or tarmac, because ultimately most of us are going to be on tarmac at some point, even in an aggressive shoe. For a mixed terrain race, I would rather have the old 230, whereas if it is just pure mountains, lots of off-piste stuff, an OCR race, anything like that, this would be the one I go to. But if you want to go OCR, there is a 210 as well, so you can go even lighter weight, because we know weight's everything in OCR, because you're basically just swimming in muck. So there you have it. There's my review of inov8's X-Talon G 235. It's 140 quid. It only comes in that orange. As you'll notice with many inov8 products, it's one colour per product now, which does also make identification that bit easier. And ultimately they're going to be covered in brown stuff anyway, so you're not really going to see the colour unless you wash them like I just did. Let me know your thoughts below. There are more reviews coming very shortly, including another inov8 shoe. We'll speak soon.